Welcome everybody, this is my official review of Final Fantasy Tactics. Now it's not going to be really like my traditional reviews because I just really don't know how you review a game that's 20 years old. But it is really my first time of sitting down and experiencing this game from beginning to end. It's definitely a game over the years since I started playing Final Fantasy that I've really tried to understand this battle system and get into, but I've never been able to until now. Maybe it's that I've gotten older and the battle systems, the way it kind of works, it's kind of clicked. So I was finally able to sit down and give it an honest shot, and I'm glad that I did. First thing I want to talk about is its story. Yes, I'm sorry, there's going to be spoilers. It's 20 years old though, so if you haven't beaten the game, spoiler warning. But Final Fantasy Tactics story, I felt, was perhaps one of the darkest in ways that the series has ever gone. And what I mean by that is Tactics story has a very Game of Thrones-esque feel to it. You constantly have people who are fighting, whether it be the thieves at the beginning of the game or the bandits, fighting the army, and you have Gultana and Ramza's brothers going at it. And there's really no definitive answer who's the good guys and who's the bad guys. They all just kind of seem in it like they're fighting for the wrong reasons. And the game makes it clear who the main villain is, but it's not revealed until around chapter 3. And that's where the story really starts to get interesting, because the whole setting, as you have Azalem trying to resolve the true history of what had happened and show the world that, yes, Ramza was the one who ended the War of the Lions and was the true hero during this time and not King Delita. It was very interesting in a lot of ways to turn around and see how that was set up and how the church was so corrupt, as they had even went as far to burn the documents that this man had created, exploiting the truth because people didn't want the church to be coming out as evil. It has a very deep and thought-provoking plot. The whole fact that Ramza uncovers this truth about this age-long church that's been going around, and it's been set up on nothing but a lie of someone who brought destruction, nothing but destruction to Ivalice back then, and how they were able to stop him, and now the church is trying to resurrect him. I thought that was some pretty deep and interesting story. That was definitely the highlight of when I played the game. Like reading through the Ajura documents and learning the truth about everything that you learned from the game was one of my favorite moments from the game. I loved its dark nature, I really, really did, and I kind of hope Final Fantasy in some ways continues that trend. Well, let's talk a little bit about its battle system. I'm not really going to spend too much time on it. Like I said, it's definitely something that I had to get used to over the years. You know, something just kind of clicked and I understood how to play it. So I feel the battle system has aged pretty well though. I mean, most tactics games, they kind of have like the same set gameplay style. There's other games who have kind of innovated things, such like the Disgaea series is another one that has, but Tactics really stands still as one of the best tactics games today. So I really enjoyed that battle system there. Another thing I thought was really, really interesting was its characters. And when I say characters, I'm talking about Ramza and Delita. I really wish that they would have focused more on some of the other characters, such as Agreus, Mustadio, or Landu, kind of after they joined your party. Just kind of weird how they were subplotted out of the narrative once they joined your party, and that's kind of like the last you kind of ever heard of them. But Ramza and Delita were very interesting characters, and perhaps more so Delita than Ramza. Because there are times during its plot I really wanted to bring myself to hate Delita. And in a lot of ways I just couldn't. Delita had some seriously dark things going on in his life, and rightly so. The loss of his sister, and you know, seeing his best friend's brothers be the one who executed that. He felt distraught and upset and wanted to bring the war to an end. And I mean, to this point, I still don't understand Delita's true motives. I mean, he just kind of backstabbed everybody. Like, he didn't care who he really backstabbed. He just kind of wanted to go off and, in a lot of ways, do his own thing. And it was interesting, to say the least. I'm really glad I did get to sit down and play it, though. Other recommendations, guys, in the strategy RPGs, let me know down below what other strategy games have some really good stories. Disgaea is one that I want to pick up eventually, but leave those recommendations down below in the comment box and let me know. You guys have been watching The Spoony Bard, and most importantly, stay happy, be happy, and game happy. The Spoony Bard is checking out.